Ivory and welcome to my channel, Whimsical Reads. And I am here today to give you a book review on The Throne of Secrets by Kerri Maniscalco. And so everyone should be new to my channel because it's my very first video. And I will tell you that on my channel, I'll be reviewing a lot of romance fantasy, and some thrillers. And so I'm really excited that I got a hold of this book. I read Kerri Maniscalco's other books in this series. It's in the Kingdom of the Wicked series. This one is a standalone, and I did not know it was coming out. I was at Barnes & Noble's in the line, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Is this from the same series? And then I opened it up and said, wow, it's a standalone. But I will tell you, if you're planning to read this book, which I highly recommend, and I'll get into why, you do not have to read the other books in this series. However, I do, again, recommend the other books in this series because it's awesome. I will say I am a fan of her writing. What you will get in this particular series is it's all about secrets and lies and royalty and intrigue. And if you like books that are dark, the atmospheric is very dark, then you will really enjoy this book. I will say it is high spice. So if you're okay with spice, then you will like her books. It is not overly. So I'm right now reading the Blood and Steel series, and for me, book number 2, Vows and Ruins, which I will get to later on in different videos, that spice is spice, but this one's not. So you can, if you like spice, it's good, but you don't want overly spiced, then I would say read it. So yes, we're following a female protagonist, and she is navigating the underworld, which again is a theme within this whole entire series. So the setting is the 7 circles of hell, and what she has come across is gluttony. And like all of the princes in this book, these men are described as gorgeous and sexy and everything a woman would desire. But something happened, and again, this is spoiler free, about 10 years prior to what happens in this book that is the main conflict, and which has her angry with gluttony. And so that kind of sets up the type of relationship that they have. What I appreciate about Kerri's writing is that we don't get that angsty teenage, you know how it's in some of the romance books that we get, is kind of the slow burn, and they have to get over, the whole book is I'm angry with you and I'm not telling you why, and we never get to the romance, and we don't get that in this book. There is, like I said, there is conflict between the characters, but they're still able to kind of coexist with each other, and which makes it not as annoying how sometimes I get with books. And there's one particular series that I felt that way with, and I was like, okay, when are we ever going to get to the romance? We do get to it eventually, but there is still a big barrier. What also is interesting about this book and that I like is that we have dragons. So not only do we have demons, we have witches, we have vampires, but we get dragons, which gives us our dragon fix before, we get to Onyx Storm. That's supposed to be coming in January, so we get our little dragon fix. But I will tell you, with this book, the main conflict is the romance. The other part, the magic and all of that, is kind of plays a secondary role to the romance in this book, but at least it's still there. I would say that that might be my one critique. If you are looking for a book that focuses more on the external world, we don't get that as much, as it does play a role in this, in the relationship between the two characters, and it does kind of drive some of the action scenes and all of that, which is great. But again, the book seems like it focuses more on that romance. But with that being said, I really liked the book. And even though I'm a romance fantasy girly, I still like a good storyline. And I do feel like it had a good storyline, but I was really hooked into the relationship, which I thought she did something, without again giving too much away, the author did something very unique with that. And so all in all, I do recommend this book. I do recommend the entire series though, because again, you do get a different world, because we're going down a hill. So my final rating, I would give this a solid 4. And the reason why I say a solid 4 is because like I said, I feel like the story, the external story outside of the relationship felt a bit rushed. But again, it's a good old-fashioned whodunit at the end. So did it achieve the whodunit? Yeah, I was thrown off. I didn't mention this, but it does have that mystery piece to it. I didn't see that one coming, but was I like, whoa? No, I was not. I still was more into the relationship. I thought it was really sweet. So, and I should have mentioned this. It also has a mixture of, I think they tried to give a little bit of, I would say Hunger Games. What would I say? Because it had this whole competition piece. I wouldn't say Serpent in the Wings. It had a little competition piece. I won't give that away, but it did have a little bit of that in it. But again, all that seemed secondary. Wasn't really fleshed out much because it was mainly based on the romance. Either way it goes, like I said, I give it a solid 4. I give the entire series 4.5. I really highly recommend. Okay, so my next video, I will do a thorough review. I know this was just me trying to be spoiler free and trying this out. This is all new to me. But the next book, I will actually give an in-depth review of the book with spoilers, because the assumption is that we've all read it. All right, well, I'll see you guys next time, and thank you for making it this far.